Let's jump into the book. Asking the Saskatoon musical scene for the past, 20, 30, 40 years, how big of an undertaking was that? Did you just throw out emails and sit back and pray?
Yeah, basically, actually. Well, I meant to be really lazy about it, and I thought I could just archive like a bunch of old articles from Planet S and places, but it kind of took on a life of its own after that and became this heinous thing that I had to, corral people. I got other writers, including yourself, writing about Shaw stripped down, you know what I mean? So yeah, it turned into quite a big deal to corral and get everybody together, but I had to push through and get it done.
Was it information overload at times? Like, what was the editing process like?
Sort of, but I guess I didn't really try to there's no way you can possibly hit on everything, right? So, I mean, there's giant holes in it, but there's a quote from Gandhi that's in the book, not Gandhi himself, but the movie Gandhi, from Richard Attenborough, and he said, when he made the movie Gandhi, he said, you can't encompass a whole man's life with a movie, or in this case the music scene with a book, but if you can just sort of hit those right notes here and there, you can sort of encapsulate what that person was about. And so that's really what I tried to do, is in addition to my own writing, memoirs, interviews, articles, I got a ton of other people to tell their stories. Like I said, you told the story of Stripped Down. Chris Laramie from Shooting Guns told the story of Parades Against Parades. Chris Morin from Ominosity tells the story of how he got into the DIY punk scene as a teenager. Ron Spazzeri, Oral Fuentes, Don Griffith, just these huge names in Saskatoon music all kind of jump in and tell their stories.
Anybody who ever has taken on writing something of this size, or just writing in general, it's a gut check and determination. You yourself, brand new dad.
Yes.
You work 2 jobs, musician. I mean, you have a lot on your plate. Where did you find time to do this? And what made you get up and put that pen in your hand, and just, what kept you going?
Well, originally, what got me doing it was wanting to leave behind a bit of a legacy. And also I thought it was cool to have my name on a book, right? But I really, once I got into it, had to focus, because I do have a lot of stuff going on, and it was getting done slowly, but I started to feel, it was more like fear. I talked to a lot of people about it. I'd made a lot of bold promises, and I started to feel like Brian on Family Guy, when Stewie's always like, so how's that book coming, Brian? And he's like, so I was like, okay, I gotta just focus and get this thing done. So I put aside a whole bunch of projects and just focused on the one thing so I could push through. I wanted to get it done, obviously, before my son was born, and we got the proof copy in the mail the week he was born, so it was perfect timing.
And as always, when you look at your own work, you're your hardest critic, so it's all said and done. You look back at it, you happy?
I think for the most part. I'm sure there's still going to be stuff I'm picking apart in it for a long time. My wife thankfully read through it and picked out some typos, but I'm sure I'll still be finding them in there. But it's rock and roll, right?
Right.
Typos, baby. It's rock and roll.
Awesome. Where's it available other than right here at Beaumont Records?
Beaumont Film and Record, the Vinyl Diner, McNally Robinson, and Turning the Tide bookstore.
There it is. Thanks,
cool.
buddy.
Yeah, thanks, man.